What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of The Legislative Director, talking about legislative things. Here she is. Look, let me tell you something.
Oh, no.
She's the Legislative Director, Amber Marr. Session almost over. We're almost there. You can just see it. It's just, I think, we're possibly in almost single-digit day possibility for the end of session. With her, as always, not the Legislative Director, Jason Thompson. I almost said Amber Marr again. That would have been weird.
Nobody wants two of me.
Well, that's up for debate. Amber, how are you doing?
Well,
almost there.
It's Friday.
Tiny Friday.
Is that what you call it?
Little Friday.
Little Friday.
It could be Tiny Friday. Thursday, it's like Little Friday.
I said Tiny Friday.
It works too. Little Friday.
Yeah,
we're recording this on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Amber, this week was
another doozy.
It was the deadline week, so it was second reading deadline.
Oh, yeah.
Third reading deadline.
Second reading deadline was Monday. Third reading deadline was Tuesday.
And now we're in the thick of conference committees and whatnot, which is always a fun exercise in democracy and how it works. Well, not really democracy. I guess I would just say our government in action.
Because sometimes the rules, they don't really matter.
They're not really the rules.
So if I told you how conference committee works, they should work. And then you have days like today where a conference committee was posted and actually occurred in way less time than it is even supposed to sit on the calendar. So,
Good times. Good times.
What it is.
Well, we're almost to the end of session.
Yeah.
They're supposed to wrap up next week, a week from today, by their calendar.
Yeah, based on their determination.
What they're going to try to do.
Yes.
They have to be done by
the 30th. I'm sorry, the 29th.
29th.
I don't know why. I always think it's the last day in April. It's not. It's the 29th.
So they have to be done by the 29th. They're going to try to be done by the 24th.
Well,
or 25th.
Yeah, we've been hearing it's a sliding scale between the 24th and the 25th.
They gave themselves some flexibility, as we like to say.
Because again, they have until the 29th. So
yeah. They're gonna give themselves.
I think they just want to be done before the weekend.
Yeah, they don't want to stick around for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's what's happening with that.
What was that noise?
That was my watch.
Oh, I thought it was your phone.
No, because you would have probably punched me in the face if my phone would have made any kind of noise. And that's also why I put him off.
It's okay.
I put him off to the side so that
I can handle the watch. The phone, on the other hand.
So there's no injuries to me.
Or your computer that's like beep 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 constantly.
Well, how was that again? How was that?
On your Teams message.
What were those beeps?
It was just as annoying as I made it sound.
It was not annoying at all. Okay,
moving on.
Yes. So that's a little bit of the scheduling side of things that's going to happen here. But let's talk about what happened this week. Then we got a couple bills to talk about.
Well, speaking of which, on Monday,
which was the second reading deadline,
they went almost until 12:30 a.m.
Which I don't understand why.
Now, keep in mind, the deadline was midnight for any second reading bills. They went ahead and completed that. They completed the second reading on the calendar, and then they had moved to the concurrence for Senate Bill 1, which is the property tax bill.
Yes.
And so they were debating that, and that was because that wasn't on a deadline. They could have gone all the way through all of their concurrences. They could have been in session for the rest of the morning. So they ended up finalizing the debate on the concurrence for Senate Bill 1, and then decided to adjourn at literally, I think it was like 12:22 in the morning, and listen to it right up to the end, and then merge the calendars for the next day. So they went really late on Monday.
So let's talk about Senate Bill 1.
Yes.
Which is they passed in the wee hours of the morning on Tuesday.
Yes.
Technically.
And as the title, just so that in case people are searching it, it's actually local government finance is the title.
Oh, now it's called local government finance.
I said property tax, but
yeah,
it is. It's the big property tax bill.
Yes, which changes that were made in the House, Senate concurred to those.
Yes.
They voted on that.
Yep.
Concurrence, and then the governor has already signed it.
Yes. Signed it on.
It would have been the 15th?
Yeah, why don't
I think he signed it on the 15th.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Because they voted on it. Well, this is what's funny. So they voted on the concurrence 27-22.
So a close vote.
It was a close vote coming out of the Senate. And because it was past midnight, it technically says that they voted it on 4/15. And so then the governor literally signed it on 4/15 as well, but it was like the next day, but you know what I'm saying.
Moving quickly.
Yeah. So there's a lot of chatter around Senate Bill 1. I think hopefully we will be able to have a broader discussion as to what is in it when we actually sine die, so we can go through some of these bills and talk about the breakdown, because there were a lot of things shoved into Senate Bill 1.
Yes.
Yeah. And changed on the House side. So keep in mind, one of the things that we did not have a position on anything else within Senate Bill 1 other than the property tax deferral program that was originally a standalone bill. But it got shoved into Senate Bill 1 when it was still in the Senate. And then when Ways and Means added their amendment and Chairman Thompson, did the amendment of all the changes that they made to it, our property tax deferral program stayed in.
Well, we like to hear that.
Yes.
There is a lot that's in that bill.
Yeah.
And has is going to have quite the impact across the state and whatnot. So we will dive into more of that, I think, in a future episode. But for now, it is done.
It's done.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's move on to some other bills.
Okay.
House Bill 1391.
Yes. 1391 is the choice bill that we have been talking about for a really long time, the services for the aged and disabled. This is the bill that we worked with the Association of Area Agencies on Aging and Representative Clear and Senator Good and a lot of other people that are on the bill. And this is actually, it was, let's see, it was voted. Now, this was on second reading deadline and then third reading deadline.
Okay.
So the Senate still had not even voted regularly on it. So it went through second readings on Monday, and then it was voted 47-2 on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then it was sent back to the House for Representative Clear to dissent or concur. We're really hoping he is going to concur. And I looked before this to see if, no, he still has not filed yet.
Okay.
But we're hoping concur.
All right. And then for those of you watching on your screen, that
yes.
Senator Good.
Yes, that's Senator Good presenting House Bill 1391 in the Senate and kind of talking about what the bill entails and how this is going to look for the choice program and doing a pilot to ensure that this really can be a Medicaid diversion program.
Okay.
So thank you, Anna, for putting that up. Yes.
Thank you, Anna. All right. Good work on that one.
Thank you to everyone who has supported this and worked on this. It was a pleasure to get to work with Representative Clear and Senator Good. So we're really encouraged and looking forward to continuing this work just because the bill has been voted on and hopefully on its way to a concurrence means that the work is really just starting.
Oh, wow. That's, you mean after it passes and stuff like that?
Yeah, there's still more work to be done.
You mean before session's out?
No, I hope not.
That's why that was why my reaction was. I was like, "Oh wow, we still got we're still doing stuff here."
No.
Okay.
We just talked to Representative Clear yesterday too. So hopefully the concurrence just hasn't been. I'm hoping it just hasn't shown up.
You're talking about afterwards, the work begins in trying to make these changes that the bill. Okay, cool. Yeah, that was I needed that clarification.
That the bill promotes. I hope there's not any more work to be done on this bill.
Okay. All right. So
Representative Clear, concur. Okay.
All right, there we go.
Yeah.
Representative Clear, you have your orders. That was a joke. You do what you want. Next up, House Bill 1587.
Yes, he will definitely, I'm sure, be concurring, and not because I said so.
Okay.
Okay.
1587.
1587. Yes, 1587. Ooh.
Insurance Matters.
So this Insurance Matters bill is the one that has our mobile integrated health language in it.
Yes.
And it also was on second and third reading this week. Was that right?
Yeah.
Yes. So it passed out of the Senate 47-1.
Okay.
On Tuesday, the 15th. And then they dissented. The House went back to the House, and the author, which is Representative Carbaugh, dissented. Now, do I think it has anything to do with the mobile integrated health language?
Probably not.
No. There's so much in this insurance bill. They really just have to break it down. So I'm not worried about our language, but we will just continue to follow that conference committee to make sure that language stays in.
Okay.
But just kind of looking back at both the House committee and the Senate committee, there was a lot of discussion around other noses, and none of them none of the comments were about the MIH language. Everybody supported that.
Yeah, everybody's into it. Okay.
Excuse me. Yeah. Okay. So 1587, dissent has happened. The conference committee has not occurred yet. And actually, I don't even think just the House conferees and advisors have been appointed, but nothing from the Senate yet. So once those get appointed, they'll probably schedule the conference committee will probably be next week.
Okay. All right. Next up, Senate Bill 142, eviction issues. Is it still called eviction issues? They're changing names on us.
Let's see here.
On this thing.
142.
We want to make sure.
Yes.
Still. Okay, cool.
Okay. Senate Bill 142, the concurrence was voted on yesterday, on Wednesday, 35-1, and now it goes. No, sorry, this was a voting on the concurrence. It is a Senate bill, so it goes to the governor.
Moving on.
Yeah, gets sent to the governor.
Okay, awesome. Good news. Next up.
Remember, this was when a tenant, if they're already in their court hearing for their eviction, if they settle their payment or the judge rules in their favor, they can automatically seal the eviction record at that time.
Okay.
If it's outside of that, they still have to file the paperwork.
All right.
So it is a baby step.
Step in the right direction, though.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a baby step in the
it's a baby step in the right direction.
Yes.
Next up.
Okay.
Little bill 1001.
State budget.
State budget. I didn't say it. I did not say it. It is state budget time. I do want to. I really do. But it is state budget.
Okay.
1001. Look.
The Senate, it's so hard to keep because it's a House bill, but it was in the Senate. It was on third reading I don't have that written down. On
Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday, when it was supposed to be, because it was deadline.
Yeah.
It was voted 40-9, went back to the House, obviously.
Automatic dissent.
Yeah. Dissent has been filed. No conference committee has been scheduled yet. That's because it will be, and there's going to be a lot more discussion before the end of next week, so stay tuned.
Yeah, because there was a budget forecast thing that happened.
And I didn't take a picture of that. I should have. The budget committee met yesterday at 2:30 to do the budget forecast, and it was bleak.
This is like their last look before they finalize the budget about how much money is Indiana projected to have for this budget. And it was not looking great.
Not good.
Is the nicest way we can put that.
Yes.
So now this is going to make for this last week and a half or whatever it is kind of interesting, for lack of a better word.
What did they say? They said, looking ahead, we're going to be about $2 billion less in revenue.
Yes.
And then didn't they also say what we're going to be in a deficit just with our current budget?
Yeah, I think it was $400 million.
Yep.
The
2025 fiscal year is going to be short by an estimated $400 million.
Which is the year we're currently in, for those of you keeping score at home and know what the date is, which means they got to find some way to cover that shortfall.
Yeah.
Cool. That doesn't feel great.
It doesn't.
But it's going to make for a dicey last week and a half a session as they look to see what either they're going to cut or try to find some ways to increase revenue.
Because several things, if you remember, the talk on the table this whole year has been, do they raise cigarette tax? Do they increase the alcohol tax? Yep. Do they
legalize marijuana?
Yeah, that was not really on the table.
Yeah, that didn't really go anywhere.
People still talk about it.
Yeah, they do.
To try to find additional revenue. Who knows what this will look like now?
Should make for some fun theater. I don't know if you're into that kind of thing. It doesn't sound that fun. But
yeah. Oh, but I will also say, all of our items, thankfully, that we have in the budget were not cut. We didn't get any increase.
Here's hoping that it stays that way.
Yes. And then the Senate version also added 50 million per year for behavioral health.
Yes.
And 100 million, which I think matched the House budget,
yeah,
but 100 million a year for Health First, or the money that trickles down to the local health departments.
For public health. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well,
so stay tuned. All of what I just said is in the budget. We'll have to give another update.
It's going to be a whole new thing right up against the deadline.
Yeah. They're going to be trying to compromise over all kinds of stuff. So disregard what is even in there at the
So don't listen to a thing we're saying.
We'll have to give a further breakdown in the future.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And then last piece of legislation we're going to talk about is SB 2.
Yes.
Medicaid matters.
Senate Bill 2 is actually, as it came back from the House, the Senate concurred.
Okay.
Senator Mishler concurred. And it has been on the concurrence calendar for a while. But it's also because they were dealing with other deadlines. And then yesterday, Senator Mishler was in the budget committee, so he was not on the floor to do it. So I think we're just waiting today to kind of see what the discussion is and how this all shakes out. However, did want to just reiterate that the language that was changed from just a parent of a child with a disability or a serious medical condition, it was changed to incorporate parent, spouse, or caretaker of any individual with a serious disability or with a disability or a serious medical condition. That has stayed in there.
Okay. Well,
so we're gonna see what happens.
Keep on keeping an eye on that one as well.
Yeah. So we'll keep you posted.
Okay. And then the next couple of things before we get into everybody's favorite part of the show, Fast Facts with Anna. There are a couple of events took place at the end of last week, over the weekend.
Did you say Fast Facts?
I did say Fast Facts.
Is it Fast Facts? Why do I always think it's Fun Facts?
Because they're both fun and fast. That's
anyway,
why.
I don't know why I get it wrong every time. Okay, sorry.
Well, and we go. Here's the first one.
Yes.
So this is the Aspire
Johnson County.
Okay. Well, who are these?
Yes.
Fine
folks? So this is the Aspire Johnson County, or the chamber in Greenwood.
Yep.
And they held their third House meeting. I think it was last Friday, but it was after we had already recorded. So Addison, my colleague Addison, and I, alongside two of our amazing legislative team volunteers, came with us to it, and we had a great time.
Cool. So, yeah, it looked like it was a good turnout by the legislators.
Yep, we had Robin and Audrey with us, and we were able to connect with Pro Tem Bray. So Senator Bray was there. Obviously, you saw everyone that was there, but we were able to really talk to Representative Green and a couple other folks that we stayed after to connect with. So
cool.
And shout out to Christian at Aspire Johnson County. Thank you so much for having all of us. We work very closely with Christian, especially on, just other issues that might pop up at the State House. But we're so excited that we were able to attend and hope to see you soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And then the last one is a Meet Your Legislator event down in Evansville that we are one of several sponsors that are including the League of Women Voters and some other organizations down there. So our volunteer Vicky was on the ground for that, and you can see there another good turnout from the legislators.
And I'm not sure, I don't want to leave anybody else out. There might have been additional folks with Vicky from our volunteer, from our Evansville volunteer
Vicky texted
team.
us the photo.
Yeah.
So that's how I know for sure she was there.
So thank you, Vicky.
Yes. And anybody else in attendance?
For sure. Yeah, I never. We just were so excited to see that turnout and for our volunteers to have the opportunity to attend.
Yes.
And speak with them in their area.
So lots happening still as we approach the end of session. So stay tuned because things can move quickly at the end here. And a lot of things can happen.
Sorry.
Speaking of things happening, just off screen. There's some things happening.
Yeah, I got an SOS. It's okay. I can deal with that in a little
All right, we'll deal with that in a second. So let's move on to everybody's favorite part of the show.
How fast things change. Sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
Do we need to give an update right now?
No.
Or because it's going to change 5 minutes from now.
Well, just so you know, there's a lot of chatter about what's on the chopping block right now.
From the budget? Yikes. Okay.
So
we'll get into it. Yeah. Stay tuned on that. But now let's bring Anna on for Fast Facts with Anna. Anna, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me back.
Hi,
these facts are both fast and fun.
I think what people didn't see when that was playing, because you can't see us when that's happening, you missed the fact that JT goes, see, this is what I'm saying. Nobody gets to see this part. Then he comes on, he's all chummy, and behind the scenes, he's like, see.
So what you're saying is behind the scenes, I'm a jerk.
I just wanted people to to see what is actually happening. So it is Fast Facts. Thank you for correcting me, just not on camera, so people didn't see your attitude.
Okay. So let's put the big board up there because look at that.
Look at that. Oh boy.
Hoo-wee. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. For those of you that are listening, I have taken the lead by a whole 1.5 points.
I'm gonna need to eat.
Indeed, you have.
As Amber takes a candy break while we look over my lead.
I don't want to look at it anymore.
Okay.
She's avoiding.
Get it out here. Get it out.
We'll take it off the screen before she gets angrier. Okay. Countdown to Signy Die.
So for this week, this is actually a throwback to the first Fast Facts, where I talked about how many bills were filed for this session. So this time we're going to see how many are left. So you guys, I put some notes on your whiteboards. There's opportunities for 3 points.
Ooh, 3 points.
Yeah.
You can come back.
It's not happening.
For the number of bills left in the House and the Senate, I'm going to give you plus or minus, let's say 10.
Oh, generous.
We can narrow it. Would you like a narrow?
I'm fine with 10. I'm fine with 10.
Okay.
So this is how many bills have survived.
Correct. And this is as of last night.
Yeah, that made it past third reading deadlines.
Yes.
Because we can't.
And then
things may not turn out well in conference committee, but okay.
And then for total percentage, you got to hit it on the head.
Total percentage of bills that pass.
Are left?
Yes, because it just so happens that the percentage of bills left in the House, the bills left in the Senate, and the total combined, it's all the same percentage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So wait.
So I'm gonna.
So you're saying it's the same number on each one?
For the percentage.
Oh, for the percentage. So what you're saying is that the same percentage of House bills that pass is the same in the Senate. So That's why there's only one. The total percentage would be the same.
Oh, got it.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then I have a next slide to give you a little bit of direction.
Okay, cool.
We'll do a little bit of recap.
Let's do it.
So what percentage of bills are left from the original 1,254 filed? And here is your little roadmap. This is where we started. So the first number is at the beginning of session. The second number was the halfway update that we did. And so now you guys are going to tell me how many bills you think are left and what total percentage. You don't have to do the combined.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, we can just do this.
No math required.
Okay. So I am.
So 540 was the filed in the Senate. 176 was what was left at halftime.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to my marker's like dried out.
It is?
Kinda. Here we go.
Oh.
It's all right.
Those are brand new.
I know.
Oh.
Plus or minus 10 buffer on your bills.
Yeah, I went way low. I went way low for this one.
JT's making me rethink now.
Nope, don't do it.
That's why you don't cheat.
Yeah.
Well, I've just taken JT's lead because he cheats on mine sometimes. But how would that be possible? Because he's currently winning. So that's not really. That's not real. That's not real.
I'm gonna.
I did think it was interesting that they evened out in percentage by the end.
I'm sorry, Anna. I was talking. What did you say?
I just said that I found it very interesting that they evened out in percentage.
Oh.
Of it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think I'm ready. I went super low on one of these.
If that's real. Hold on.
Don't rethink what you're
No, I haven't done this.
Okay. You gotta do your total. You do your percentage.
Right.
You don't think that's correct?
Well, I don't know because that one was.
This is all. I'm just playing all head games here.
I think
this is also very dependent on my ability to count because there is no tracker for this. This is all manual numbers.
Oh, because yeah.
Okay, we ready? I think you're gonna get some points here.
I think I'm good.
I think you're gonna get some points here.
I don't.
All
think
right,
so,
do you guys?
I do think that you're right.
I don't know.
You guys want to share your numbers? JT, do you want to go first?
Yeah, for the Senate, I put 57.
Okay.
Oh, do I go now?
Sure. Well, I'll go ahead and share all of yours.
Okay,
please.
so I did 57 for the Senate, 98 for the House.
Okay.
12% total.
Okay.
For
Amber.
Whew. I did Senate 123, House 112, and total percentage 18.
All right. And the answer is 109 in the Senate, 143 in the House, and it's all 20%.
Ah!
So
you were so close, Amber.
So Amber got the total, right?
No, because she said we had to get the percentage on the dot.
So okay, I didn't get.
And then plus
anything.
or minus 10 on the
still
bills.
Didn't. I don't think. I think I got. No, I didn't get.
Ooh, so close.
Plus or minus 10 would have been 119, and I put 123.
That's
so close.
I know. And then the House was 143, and I was at 112.
I just lowballed that a lot.
I just knew there's no way. I was like, if the Senate only passed 57 bills out of 540, I'd scream.
I think I originally was thinking I was gonna put like 87, and then decided. And I still wouldn't have got it right. So either way,
I was kind of off in the House. The House passed more than I had, or there were more bills left than I had envisioned.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I really thought that from 100. Well, anyway, this was.
It is crazy though that 1,000 of the total bills died.
Yep.
By the time we got to the end.
So,
however,
no points awarded. However,
keep in mind the way that Anna said that though. Yes, 1,000 bills have died. However, some of those bills that died, their language has been shoved into other bills. For example, the property tax deferral program that we just talked about.
Some bills have
Amber,
to die
I'll let you
to live.
This is true. Amber, I'll let you do the math on that one. You can tell me how many bills have been inserted into other bills.
Oh my gosh. That would be really difficult to try to calculate.
So I think this is the first time this season.
No points.
No points awarded. So the lead still stands right now.
I feel like I should get a bonus point for getting that.
I think the total percentage, the closeness on that one.
No, we stick with the rules.
Okay, that's fine.
Because Amber, you said 18, and JT, what did you say?
I said 12.
Okay.
And it was 20.
We could give Amber a half point.
I was gonna say we can give Amber a half a point.
Wait, do I currently have what was my I have 11 and a half.
You have 11.
Oh,
so this would take you out. So now you don't, instead of being behind by 1.5 points, you'd only be behind by a point.
No, that wasn't the rule.
Okay.
Anna, let's stick to. I appreciate you trying to give me a point.
I'm just saying that it was.
I
mean,
give me a half a point, but
it was close.
It was close. I can just revel in the fact that I was closer than you.
Yes,
that's true.
That feels good. That does feel good.
You were less wrong.
I was way wrong. You were just wrong.
I feel like there's a statement to be made there.
Maybe that's really just things just in general. I'm way wrong.
If I'm wrong, it's usually I'm just wrong.
You're just wrong.
Always wrong.
Way wrong.
Wow.
It is like I'm gonna see myself out now.
I'll see you all next week.
Anna, thank you as always. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. All right.
That was fun.
That was good stuff.
Yeah.
Good work.
Just
Good work.
So close.
You were so close.
And
all right.
I knew that you were so wrong.
So wrong. All right, Amber, you get to that text to see what's going on there.
Yes.
We appreciate all of you. Stay tuned as there are late breaking things. And as we come to the end of session, hopefully next week, and we'll see whether or not we'll even have it. They might still be going on by the time we record next week. So stay tuned, and we will talk about all the good things and bad things that are happening at the Indiana General Assembly as we approach the end. So until next time on the Legislative Director, talking about legislative things, we'll see you then.